Hello, I'm Emeralia, and today I'm going to be talking about the newest hunter added to the game, the Breaking Wheel. Now, before I start and say anything, note that I've only seen gameplay of this hunter. I'm not an expert on him. Everything I'm going to say is based off what I've seen. He's still very new. Things could change. I bet NetEase is going to nerf him from all the complaints from survivor mains. So this may change, but this is just off what we know now. So I'm gonna look at this hunter's traits. I haven't looked at them yet. I've only seen gameplay, like I said. So, Breaking Wheel. Can assemble themselves into a wheel. When they exceed a certain speed, they can crush pallets. They can't launch normal attacks. Will be immune to control effects. So this basically means that when he's in wheel form, his way of attacking, it doesn't really say it here, but actually that's the next one. I won't go on to that. But he can do a speed boost, and if he's going fast enough, he'll break pallets. And he can't be stunned at all. So no priestess portals will work, no forward stuns, no enchantress stuns, no patron stuns, any stun you can think of, it won't work. That's what it means by control effects. Now Pierce. Pierce is how he attacks you in wheel form. When you get run over by him with the wheel, you'll get pierced, and it'll show up as a spike next to the character's avatar. So you can be stacked up to 3 times, half of a normal attack. So it'll be chip damage like a sculptor or a Von 1 would do on their abilities. So these can be removed. It takes longer the more spikes there are, but it seems, at least from what I've seen, about the same speed of normal healing. Like 2 spikes would be the same as a half damage. Obviously you can't heal quarter damage or 3/4 damage unless you're a doctor. But yeah, just based on my first impressions. Then 3-second interval between each stack of Pierce. So for example, if you're standing still and he's standing on top of you, it takes 3 seconds, so it won't just be 1, 2, 3, and then you're already done. You can't even move. So at least that's there. I don't think they should change that. That seems fair. What's this? I think that's a speed boost. Yes. Up to 15 seconds, up to 2 times. So you can get 2 speed boosts. So this will let him traverse the map really quickly. So then basically, I'll say more about this later, but you won't need teleport for him if you have these speed boosts. Because as long as it's an open map, like Moonlit, for example, you'll get across in 2 seconds. A map like Leo's you might have a harder time with, but when you master the controls enough, I'm sure you'll be able to do it. And then the traps. Alright, so he can throw traps, kind of like Gamekeeper's traps, but the difference, it doesn't take time for him to place it down, and he throws them in front. So he can keep walking, and he can put them in your trap. So if you are not pierced, then it'll only slow you down. But if you are pierced, that looks like, is that Axe Boy's? Wait, is that Axe Boy's speed reductions? 60%. Axe Boys. Alright. It doesn't say, but from what I've seen, it looks like it's the same amount, 60%. So if you think about leaving the corrupt area against Axe Boy max presence, that'll be about the slowdown. If you're not pierced. But if you are pierced, you'll be stunned for 2 seconds. That can really screw up your kite. So if there's 2 spikes, if it's in like a small area where you can only run straight, he'll just have to place a trap in your path, and then you're instantly downed. So that's really scary. But the traps only stay there for 10 seconds. I didn't know that. Nailboard, but I'm gonna call them traps. It's easier to remember. His first presence abilities. So he can extend his spike range for 10 seconds. We'll see how much that affects his chase later on, but from what I've seen, it looks like it'll help him a lot. And what's this? Control spikes and inflicts pierce. Oh, okay. So this is his first presence. When he switches into human form, he now can press a button to apply the spike damage. So he no longer has to hit you to apply damage. So this will make it so that spikes will have an effect not only when you're full health, but also half health. Because if you're half health on first presence and there's 2 spikes, it won't make a difference in the chase except for the traps. But if he's full presence and you're half health and there's 2 spikes, then you'll have to be within 18 meters, which I think is about a half of Tinnitus range. And then you'll be downed. Okay, then max presence. Additional speed boost, which will help him get across the map faster. And what's this? Oh, when he switches to human form, it'll send out a spike. Then a 12-meter radius. So that will help his camp a lot and his chase a lot. Because now instead of needing 2 spikes on them, you only need 1. And as long as you switch when you're close enough, then they'll be down. Because it'll be 1 spike, you switch close enough, it'll be 2, you press the button, and then they're half health, and if you're already half health, you're dead. So that'll help us chase a lot. I'm already scared of this guy. Alright. Well, that's terrifying. Now I'm gonna go into custom in the single player mode. I haven't bought him yet. I haven't tried him out yet. And just see how he controls. Let's see. God, that name's so long. It's like you can't even see the whole thing. It's like the first winter. You can't. I'm gonna use Blink. Don't mind this build. That's just my BQ build. But actually, I'll bring the. Alright, so this is what, just off the top of my head, what a build would look like for him. So detention is viable for him, and because then you'll get instant down, you don't need spikes, etc., etc. Pretty self-explanatory in my opinion. Confine, since windows are the only reliable way to kite him, because pallets do nothing, so windows are your best bet. And since the switching, it only takes 5 seconds to switch in between wheel form and human form. So if you're being kited by him, if you're being kited as him, is what I mean. So what he'll do, he'll switch to human form, vault the window, switch to wheel form, and by then the survivor will have to transition or leave that area or whatever, because they'll be stuck they'll die if they stay there. And these are like excess points. Wanted is kind of, Wanted will be good if you want to go around and map pressures him. I don't think you need Berserker that much. I don't think you need Rage that much. But like, Impact is kind of meh. I don't really know where else to put the points. Claustrophobia, I guess. But just start there and then I guess you can put the excess points wherever you want. But I'm just gonna do this for sake of testing it out. Okay. Honestly, in human form, he feels fast. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a survivor main. Maybe he's slow. I don't know. Don't take my word for it. So then that will switch forms. Oh my, that is... Oh my god, that's weird. How do you can't help? How do you can't stop? Oh, okay, so when you hit things, you stop. Oh. Wait, but how do you turn? Wait, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How do you control this guy? I've never used him before, by the way. Holy, oh my god. Jesus Christ. Man, he's hard to control. Okay, they were not joking. Oh, hi, Cord. Oh, perfect. You're standing there. Let's test out the spikes. Alright. Wait, did that not give me presents? Or is this custom? Is it because it's custom? Because that should have given me presents. From everything I've seen. I guess not. Alright, so I put 2 spikes in, and then I hit her to apply the damage. The ability that just unlocked, I'm assuming, is a thing where it applies the spike damage in a certain radius. It is a certain radius, right? I think it is. And I forget what the other thing. Oh yeah, the spikes in the wheel. The spikes in the wheel. Oh, oh! I forgot you can't use camera angle to control. Oh god. Okay, I understand now. I understand what they mean. Searching for people in wheel form is gonna be so hard, cause you'll have to spend so long and like a tiny. Okay, I'm obviously not good at controlling him, but you'll have to spend a lot longer on any one area to find someone until you're good at him, which I'm obviously not. Let's give ourselves max presents. Hi, priestess. So max presents. Oh god, I keep forgetting that you just automatically go. Okay, if I could land, if I could land, if I could put a spike on priestess. If I could, okay. Okay, so what happens? So max presence. I switched forms and since she was near, she took another spike. After I spiked her once, and then I pressed the button on the right where it applies the spike damage. Ooh, that's the animation. That's fancy. And then she took half damage, so obviously I didn't kill her. That one. Interesting. Okay. I'm so sorry, survivors. Let's... Oh, gee, okay. This'll take a long time to get used to. Good thing I'm not a hunter, man. How do you turn sharp? How do you turn sharp? Okay. I didn't need to spike her again. Okay, so you can still throw things. You can still throw things when you're getting spike damage. That's good to know. There's no effect. So that's the slowdown. Let's go to another survivor. That's... Doctor. Come on, give us doctor. Alright, there we go. Okay. So I want to spike her. And then I'm gonna... Okay, that didn't spike. I have an itchy trigger finger. Actually, you know, it'll work fine. I just want to demonstrate doctor. Okay. Huh. Don't... Seriously? Okay, she's a brave soul. I hate bots. Okay. Well, I'm not sure if it's just me being bad at this point. Oh! Alright, hang on a second. So, it gets interrupted by the wall. That's... Oh, I never noticed the portraits there. You played this game for almost a year and you never noticed the portraits. Okay, that's cool. Back on topic. So you can't throw them. Kind of like Lucino's jump. It can't go everywhere because there's walls in there. Okay, now where's Doctor? There she is. I just want to get a trap on her. I want to show the trap. I'm really bad. Okay, never let me be a hunter man. Doctor, please walk in the trap. Please. Please. Doctor. Don't do this to me. I'm being kited. Please. Okay, I'm just bad. I am bad at... There we go. I'm bad at identity. I'm bad. Okay. Well, since she had a spike, she got stunned for 2 seconds. And that let me kill her. That took way too long. But it's okay. I think that's all to show. There. Let's see. What else did I have? Okay, now I'm just gonna talk about him and how... Okay. This hunter counters so many survivors. It's insane. Like, okay, let's go over the meta. So, what I'm going to be calling meta: mechanic, mercenary, forward, seer, priestess. The rest can be subject to opinion, but that's who I think the meta is. And I don't have time to go over every survivor because there's a lot, but most of them are counted by him. Note, these are basically when he's in wheel form and not in the human form, because human form he's basically a Mad Eyes without consoles. Like, that's that's how his chase is plus the traps, but like, you get my point. So this is for the wheel form, because the wheel form is OP. So if they're gonna nerf him, they're probably gonna nerf... I take that back. His wheel form is so hard to control, I doubt they'll nerf his wheel form. They'll probably increase cooldowns or something, but I'll talk more about that later. Okay, so mechanic. Mechanic. If you know where the bot is, you can just mew him over to the bot, kill it, mew him back. And plus, it's already so hard to kite as mechanic, but with this hunter, there's nothing you can do. It'll take you 10 times longer to throw a pallet than for him to break it. Like, it's impossible. And vaulting windows, it takes you so long to vault. He can just, if you have good enough controls, you can just roll over to the other side and get her before she's done. Next, mercenary. Honestly, probably the least countered of the meta, because he has a strong camp at max presence, right? You just have to spike once and switch and they're basically dead. Merc, besides being quote-unquote unstuffable, he counters wide camping, which is what this guy does best. But if you get 2 spikes in when he's max presence, then you have potential to stuff, because then you switch, and then there's 3, and then you hit, and then he's dead. But I should probably test it again. But that should happen, because it'll be 3/4 damage, and then half damage, so it will be over, and he'll instantly die. But that can be tested, but that's what should happen. Forward, probably one of the most. So those mechanic and mercenary were the least countered of the meta by this hunter. Now forward, priestess, seer. So forward. He counters him. Oh, it hurts me as a forward, man. He moves faster than the football in wheel form. You can use like a whole football and he'll catch up in 2 seconds. He can't be stunned in wheel form, so he's utterly useless. He's utterly useless when, forward is useless when he's in wheel form. So there's nothing he can do, and even harassing is hard. Cause like, what happens if he switches to wheel form? He'll just destroy you. And you'll have to use football to get away. Don't even think about harassing. Like, I'm sure top survivors will figure it out, but just it'll be just so much harder than even Bonbon. Like, all harassing gets to Bonbon over this guy right now. And what I've heard, because I was watching a stream and someone said they couldn't turn when they're trapped. And I'm assuming that if you're spiked, the trap will stop the dash too. So I'll have to test that. Right now, I'm just testing it by myself, but I'll have to test it with someone to see if that's true. But if it is, that's gonna suck. Like, it hurts. Like, Hunter, I know Nettie's wanted to change up the meta. I shouldn't say that. I know people wanted to change up the meta, but just destroying them, like, with one Hunter? That's insane. And Priestess is utterly useless. Just, it hurts me as a Priestess. I'm gonna have to find new mains because of this guy. Like, what am I supposed to do? Her short portals don't give him any sim recovery, so it'll be worse for you to make them than for him to have them in play. Especially when kiting. The supporting just doesn't make a difference at all except for transitioning, but there's no time even. It just guarantees a hit because he knows where you're going. And then, because he'll stay in wheel form as you go through, and he won't, since there's no control effects. Oh, I should switch to Priestess. I didn't notice. Alright. We're good. I know what I'm doing. I got caught up in raging over this guy. But anyway, long portals too. He can just wheel to the other side. Even if you max healing, like, it won't be possible. He'll be there before you can get it done. And you'll probably be spiked too by the time you have heartbeat, since he goes so fast. And then Seer. Where is Seer? There is Seer. Hello, Seer. Honestly, I shouldn't have put him in the most counted in the meta category, because his owl, it cancels out spikes. Alright, let me start over. So when he's in wheel form, an owl will protect him against one spike. So that since he's in wheel form, there's no recovery, so it's almost useless. So you'd be better off using the owl when he's in human form, because that will absorb a regular hit. And the spikes will stay on you, they won't be applied. So if there's 2 spikes, you're owled, he hits your owl, there'll still be 2 spikes, and you'll be able to keep going like anything else. But when he's in wheel form, Seer's a lucky guy. Like, just make sure when you're playing Seer against this guy, use your owl when he's in human form. That's gonna be a lot harder though when he has presence, because he won't need to directly hit you until he won't need to directly hit you as long as there's spikes, because he can press the button and get you dead. So that's gonna suck for Seer, man. One thing, if you're a survivor trying to learn how to kite this guy, heard a lot of people say this and it's pretty much true. Windows. Take Windows. It's probably your best bet. Also, another thing to keep in mind, you'll need to learn 2 kiting styles when you're going against this guy. When he's in wheel form versus when he's in human form. Because wheel form, you'll have to, round corners really fast, find those sharp turns, then it'll be harder for him to do things against you. Don't throw pallets because they're basically useless. Like, even if he's sitting in a pallet, like it won't stun him. Don't even try. And then, but when he switches to human form, you'll have to switch kiting styles, and you have about 2 seconds to do that to get to a better area. Because maybe you're at one window, and that's like you're just kiting him infinitely. Then he switches to human form, and you'll have to find some pallets. You can't just stay at one window forever. He'll put down a trap, and they'll come get you, and then you'll be dead. So just keep that in mind. There are two styles of kiting you need to do, and it'll be bad if you get trapped when he switches. So about this hunter, just like overall, a good hunter, a few of good controls with this guy, I think he'll be very strong, because even though he's hard to control, like once you get good with him, like if you can round those corners, there's nothing survivors can do. I think he's going to get nerfed. I'm not sure how. They'll probably, if there is going to be a nerf, I would suggest making a longer cooldown when you switch between human and wheel form, because otherwise he'll just terrorize the map. Like what I said with the confined build, how he'll switch human form, vault the window, and by the time he's done vaulting, he'll switch back to wheel form. Like if the cooldown was something like Sculptor's Chisel right now, 12 seconds, he won't be able to do that as easily, or at least not be able to catch up with you as quickly. Because what I'm picturing is like the window at Miniboat, where the 2 pallets are. If you're cutting around there, you'll have time to transition. Maybe Miniboat walls, like I don't know where you'd be able to go. Or if you're kiting at mini boats, you're looping him there. If he vaults the window and then just immediately switches back, you'll have to transition, like with any hunter with confined space. But, oh no, this hunter seems broken. He really does. The way he can't get stunned is annoying, to say the least. Like, Percy was bad enough that you can't stun him when he's attacking, because then he'll just have to attack and he won't get stunned. Like, where's Dreamwitch? Dreamwitch can just have her follower look at the stun and look away. So that's like the most they've gotten about countering stuns so far. But this guy's just a whole nother level. Half the time, like probably over half the time you're in wheel form. So then over half the time, most of the characters are useless. Like Priestess, Forward. Well, I'm gonna name every character that can stun. Priestess, Forward, Prisoner, Thief, Cord, Cowboy, Female Dancer, or who relies on stunning. We'll say Prospector, Enchantress, Wildling. Prospector, Enchantress, Wildling. I wouldn't count Postman's Dog, Painter, Batter. So that's 10. There's like 10 characters you can stun if you're not counting like Cowboy. I probably counted Female Dancer. Either way, you get my point. There's a lot of characters that have stun abilities, and most of them are like high on typical tier list besides, Thief. But like Priestess, Cord, Enchantress, Batter, like these are good characters. Forward, like these are all very good characters. And this one hunter, he counters them all. Like, I don't know. It's hard to go against this guy. So what else? Is there anything else I wanted to say? Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about Persona real quick, and then I think I'll stop. Because I've been recording for a bit now, I don't want this to go on forever. And so, Persona, I said this. So, what talent should you bring? I think How do I switch talents? We'll just do that. So, which ones are viable for him? Listen, obviously not. Excitement, he already has built-in excitement, so no. Patroller, he would have to switch to human form to use it, so I'd say that's a no. Teleport, maybe. I skipped normal, didn't I? Normal. Viable, since he can get to ciphers and back to chair fast enough. Teleport, maybe, but he already has map control. Peeper, not really. I wouldn't recommend it. Blink, I'd say, is probably the best, since it secures that down. Unless you're super confident in your traps. Unless you're super confident in your way, you switch to human form and then you trap. If you put a trap down, it'll basically be a guaranteed hit. If you know how to use it right. But if the hunter is not confident in their trapping ability, I recommend Blink or teleport or normal, probably Blink though. But we'll see. Like I said at the beginning, this hunter is really new. This will probably change. This hunter, not Percy. I was using that for the traits because I can't with Breaking Rare because I don't own him. So I think that's about it. I have more, there's more things that I'm gonna, let's restart. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer to the best of my ability. I'm still not an expert on this guy, but I'm eager to learn everything he has to offer. Will he get nerfed? Probably, since survivor mains are many and a force to be feared. But I think he seems really good once the controls are mastered. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye!